Each Tau Sept is a fully settled star system. It has its own unique cultural identity, but remains wholly integrated within the greater Tau culture. This cultural identity seems to mainly derive from which Tau caste is more numerous and influential in that given sept. Currently, there are over 20 fully developed Tau septs within the Tau Empire. Each Tau sept has its own sept badge. The rise of the Tau can be seen to develop through 3 distinct phases, periods of intense growth known to the Tau as spheres of expansion. Each of these waves of colonization is marked by a long building up of resources, after which continual waves of exploratory missions are launched, followed, where needed, by military campaigns to solidify territory gain. Once a colony transforms itself into a stable settlement, it then serves as a jumping-off point for the next expansion. By the end of the millennia-long First Sphere expansion, as it later became known, the Tau Empire had expanded across the heavens and consisted of 8 fully settled systems known as septs. Named after its prime, or sept world, a sept can include any number of additional colonized planets, or moons, as well as other holdings such as listening posts, sensor fields, shield satellites, orbital cities, and mining operations. Everything is connected, both by a series of space stations and a massive net of communications and sensors relays strung between major locations. Although it might take many generations to establish itself, each sept is unique, with its own cultural nuisance and varying proportions of the different castes and alien populations. As mentioned before, the First Sphere expansion of the Tau Empire began shortly after their species first achieved spaceflight capabilities. The Tau homeworld and the First Sphere colonies are of major economic and political importance to the Tau, and form the hub of the Tau Empire. Taunen, the first Tau sept established in the Empire's history, Taunen has a chain of enormous orbital docks and controls the largest of the aircast space stations. Now every sept hosts ships of the Tau fleet, but none can boast more than the Tau. In this sept lies the most important planet in the Tau Empire, Tau, which is the homeworld of the Tau species in the star system of the same name, and their largest and most politically important sept of the Tau Empire. The High Council, led by Ethereal Supreme Anva, convenes here, its decrees shaping the entire empire. Even after the growth of the Tau Empire into an interstellar civilization, Tau remains the center of the Tau culture and bureaucracy. No other sept world can challenge the prestige of Tau, and only Vir-La can match its power. Tau was discovered and categorized by the Adeptus Mechanicus explorer vessel, Land's Visions, a few thousand standard years before the emergence of the Tau as a spacefaring race in the 39th millennium. Before the Imperium of Man could cleanse the planet of the then primitive Tau population, a freak warp storm occurred and effectively sealed the planet and the surrounding region off from contact with the rest of the galaxy. In the few thousand standard years since, the Tau underwent rapid technological evolution, emerging as a highly technologically advanced starfaring race, just as the warp storm dissipated in the 39th millennium. Tau is a warm, dry, and arid world. Preference for worlds with climates just like the one of Tau drives Tau colonizations towards certain planets and away from others. The next sept created during the First Sphere expansion is Dione. Named after the twin moons of its prime sept world, Dione has survived long isolation due to a space storm of fierce and unnatural qualities. It has also seen many infamous orc invasions, having been isolated for such a long period of time from the Tau Empire. Its inhabitants are considered somewhat rustic and backwards. The First Sphere expansion also saw the creation of the sept world of Bork-On. It is the center of learning and academia, and its systems have many rich mining planets. Bork-On has a high percentage of Earth caste, and fire warriors from here are infrequently outfitted with prototype weapons and equipment. The next sept on the list of the First Sphere expansion is Dal'Eth. Dal'Eth sept was ravaged during the Damocles Crusade. Many of its outer colonies and several cities on its prime sept world were destroyed. It has recovered quickly thanks to its busy trade ports. Large number of aliens can be seen here, alongside its famously efficient watercast merchants and diplomats. Falshia is another sept created during the First Sphere expansion. Many technological innovations have come from this sept. Firecast warriors from Falshia are often the first to try out prototype weapons, armor, and system upgrades. Viorla is the planet that orbits a binary star, and its name translates as hot-blooded in Low Gothic. It is known to produce especially aggressive and skilled warriors. Many orc invasions have been broken by this sept, and the most respected Firecast academies reside upon Viorla. Viorla was also known as the home of Oshova, known to the Imperium as Commander Farsight, before he abandoned the Empire to found the Farsight Enclaves, Tau colonies that exist outside the authority of the Tau Empire and its ruling caste of Ethereals. The final sept to be founded during the First Sphere expansion is Sacia. The prime world of Sacia is the hottest and most dense populated of all Tau worlds, producing more colonization fleets during the Second Sphere expansion than any other. Warriors of this sept are regarded as particularly honorable. The Second Sphere expansion of the Tau Empire began in the 18th year of the 39th millennium, under the orders of the Ethereal Supreme Envoy of the Whispered Wisdom. With new advances in propulsion technology and an already established space empire, the second expansion is marked by more contact with aliens and larger wars. Around the 742nd year of the 41st millennium, the Tau Empire comes into conflict with the human Imperium of Man, who launches the Damocles Gulf Crusade in order to keep the Tau expansion into Imperial-controlled space in check. The retreat of Imperial forces marks the end of the Second Sphere expansion. Of note are the septs established by the Firecast commander Farsight during this period. The first notable sept established during the Second Sphere expansion is Autala. Autala Prime is a veteran and beautiful sept where only honored heroes can retire. Nadras is another sept world created during the Second Sphere expansion. For reasons unknown only to the Ethereals, this once thriving sept has largely been abandoned. Its remaining inhabitants are regarded as untrustworthy and quick-tempered. Kalshan is another sept world created during the Second Sphere expansion. Situated near the Purtus Rift, this sept has suffered many invasions and is less trusting of aliens than any Tau world. The fleet and the Firecast forces of this world are only recently back to full strength after their clash with High Fleet Gorgon. Tau from this sept have grown mistrustful, solemn, unfriendly, and sometimes openly hostile to alien races. Elsie-Ir is a densely populated sept with many moons orbiting its prime world, most of which are mined for the valuable ores used for the construction of battlesuits. This sept is known for its poetry and artwork. Its citizens are considered intellectuals and well respected for their creativeness by other Tau. The Earth caste is dominant on this sept. Tashvar is another sept world founded during the Second Sphere expansion, a frontier sept. Those of Tashvar have been subjected to frequent orc invasions and pirate raids. As a result, its people have become tenacious and hardy. Vashya is known as the world between spheres. The sept was settled near the end of the Second Sphere expansion, as it took a long period for the Earthcast machines to make their air breathable. Major aircast fleets and many defense platforms are docked around this sept world. The last sept, founded during the Second Sphere expansion, is Toluk. Toluk is known for its many large ethereal temples, as well as the Alien Institutes, where many alien ambassadors are brought to be instructed in the ways of the Tau culture and society before being assimilated back into their respective homeworlds. The Third Sphere expansion was begun by the Tau Empire on the 977th year of the 41st millennium, on the word of the Ethereal Supreme Aunva. The Firecast's commander, Shadowsun, was placed in command of this expansion, and has secured at least 2 new septs for the Tau Empire. During the site's campaign, of the 999th year of the 41st millennium, Imperial Space Marine forces counterattacked against the Third Sphere expansion, seemingly drawing it to a halt. However, by this time, the Tau Empire had grown to about 133% prior to its size, largely as a result of the Imperium of Man's distraction during the 13th Black Crusade. After the withdrawal of Imperial forces from the campaign, the Third Sphere expansion continues to go on to this day. Given the stated size increase of the Tau Empire during this early period, the Third Sphere includes many more Septs currently unknown to the Imperial savants. Recognized Tau Septs settled during the Third Sphere expansion include Kisimiyen. It is the first of a handful of new Septs. This Sept is one of many worlds previously claimed by the Imperium. Those human inhabitants who swore fealty to the greater good have been resettled deeper into the Tau Empire to assure their safety and their proper assimilation into the Empire. To learn more about these human traitors to the greater good, please check out our 40 facts on humans in Tau Empire. The colonists of this Tau Sept seem to be associated with luck and opportunistic subtlety. Another known Sept is Fiorios. The Tau occupying the prime world of this Sept wrestled it from the grip of an orc warlord, and cleansing the star system has proven quite costly. Fiorios is a Sept whose air and earth-caste pioneers are recognized for a tenacious refusal to accept defeat, tempered by a stoic acceptance of the price of all must pay in the furtherance of the greater good. And finally, the last known Sept in the Third Sphere expansion is Mu Kultha Bay. It is the gateway to the Dover system and the site of a famous Tau victory, led by both Commander Shadowsun and Onva. Mu Glash Bay is well on its way to being established as a full-fledged Sept. In addition to the settled systems, or Septs, the Tau realm is rife with all manners of space phenomenon, Tau-made structures, and important alien homeworlds. There are also many sparsely populated Tau colonies. Only a few names of such Tau colonies are known to the Imperium. One of these Tau colonies is Arkunasha. The planet of Arkunasha was settled during the Second Sphere expansion. Despite the deserts that made up the world's surface, the Tau have settled the Red Planet with a sizable population. This they have achieved through the tireless works of the Earth-caste scientists and engineers. By their efforts, the Tau Empire have girded the planet with two necklace-like strings of biodomes that ran around the most temperate latitudes, each a mere distance from the equator. From orbit, the world appears as a blood-red globe adrift in the ocean of space, banded with two rows of bioluminescent lights that pulsed bluish-white light, like the flanks of some deep-sea organism. In their preliminary investigations during the earliest expeditions of Arkushana's surface, the Earth-caste had made a disturbing discovery. While determining the source of the oxidated deserts that covered the world, they found a great variance in the metallic composition and even origin of the various particles. It was as if the world had been entirely covered in metal structures at some point in the distant past, which had long since been utterly ground to dust. Given the depth of the oxidated residue, that ancient civilization must have included several artificial cities the size of mountain ranges. Theories abound throughout the Earth-caste about the planet-wide catastrophe that had torn everything upon the planet's surface apart. Though the Tau have no idea what might have caused Akushana's spectacular death, or who the inhabitants might have been, they have taken their first glimpse of the world-destroying power of the Imperium of Man. Another Tau colony is Dalthene. Before the coming of the Tau, the indigo planet of Dalthene was a wild ecosystem of deep blue foliage and slithering, segmented beasts. It was tamed long ago during the First Sphere expansion and has been brought into compliance with pre-level colony standards ever since. Because of the high proportion of water caste upon its surface, Dalthene has enjoyed extremely beneficial trade agreements and has recently been counted as one of the 19th wonders of the Tau Empire. Much of the planet's surface is covered with a Tessellactian hexagon net of cities and sub-cities, each connected to the nearest hub by a slaying and perfectly regulated network of transit tubeways. Clean, white Magnorian trains whisk the populace to and from, detaching and picking up carriages with slingshot efficiency so that they never have to stop. Though the planet has landscape hills and even gigantic hexagonal reservoirs dotted across it, from orbit, it looks as if the Tau have settled it with the precision of an Earth-cast scientist modeling a new atomic phenomenon. Another Tau colony is Hosara. This Tau colony was evacuated in the 902nd year of the 41st millennium as High Fleet Gorgon approached, but the evacuation fleet was ambushed by the High Fleet's bioships and completely slaughtered. Isha Su is another colony of the Tau, the watery homeworld of the Greet, often considered part of Phaushia Sept. The Tau Empire has been attacked by the Tyranids on many fronts. Kamais is another Tau colony that was invaded by the Tyranid High Fleet Gorgon in the 902nd year of the 41st millennium. A hidden Necron fleet emerged from the planet's dead moon and destroyed the outnumbered Tyranid bioships, but then continued to land on Kamais and harvested the planet's population. Another Tau colony is Kor Vatra. Incorporated into every Sept are dozens of major docks for the Tau Navy, but in addition to these immense stations, many Septs have also developed vast orbital cities. These can be mounted to provide stable jumping-off points for large research endeavors, military campaigns, or major colonization efforts. The Tau colony of Kor Vatra is one of these so-called jumping-off points for the Tau Empire. The Red Sun system is another system in which the Tau Empire attempted to colonize. Probes have marked the dense cluster of planets around a string of 6 distant red suns. However, the massive orc population has deterred any further Tau colonization. The systems are ringed with sensor buoys in hopes of offering early warnings should the greenskins ever cease their internal fighting and seek to menace neighboring systems. Shadraig was invaded by the Tyranids of High Fleet Gorgon in the 900th year of the 41st millennium. The Tyranids of High Fleet Gorgon were eventually driven off the world, but not before it was almost completely consumed by Ripper swarms. Tros was recently settled during the Third Sphere expansion. This is an imperial world that was willingly annexed by the Tau after opening commercial relations with the Xenos Empire. Tros is one of many imperial worlds that has shown a lot of imperial citizens that working with the Tau is something to their benefit, something that the Inquisition finds extremely aggravating. To learn more about imperial citizens that defected to the Tau Empire, please check out our 40 facts about humans in the Tau Empire. Positioned in the deep space between Septs are Tashiro bases, fortress stations capable of enough thrust to resist drift and maintain permanent interstellar positions. Several patterns of development have been followed in the construction of these enormous floating fortresses, with the largest comparable in population to a continent-sized city. The Zone of Silence is a sad part of the Tau Empire, a devastated region where the High Fleet Gorgon left behind many barren planets, scoured of all life. 3 so-called artifact worlds are located within the borders of the Tau Empire. As the name indicates, ancient artifacts of unknown origin have been discovered on these planets. It is not known if these worlds possess established Tau colonies. One of these worlds is Arthas Moloch. The artifact world of Arthas Moloch is as gray and desolate as a tomb. Its surface is jumbled with thousands of tumbled shrines, strange faceless statues that predate any of the worlds of the Imperium. The world's surface is cracked and broken, giving the sense that the planet itself has died long ago, an impression that is reinforced by the fact that not a single green shoot or patch of moss can be found anywhere on its surface. Not a single living soul makes a home there, though the plastered walls of the planet's tomb bear the dark smears of bloodshed, and ghostly shadows have been burnt into the walls wherever the ruin clusters close together. Though the world is barren as bone, if one possesses psychic abilities, were to behold it with a second sight, it would shine like a gold mine in firelight. The shrine hold is peppered with artifacts of ancient and mysterious origin. each a priceless wonder, left discarded in the dust. Arthas Moloch is also known as the Dead World, where Commander Farsight has discovered the Dawnblade. There are 2 more artifact worlds within the Tau Empire. Those are Q15 and Landfall. To learn more about those artifact worlds, you kinda have to create your own lore. GW can't do everything. During the first phase expansion, the homeworlds and colonies of the Kroot and of the Vespids were also incorporated into the Tau Empire. Notice that these star systems are not considered Septs. In addition, there are an unknown number of former Imperial worlds within the Tau Empire, some of which might still have human populations. Pek is the Kroot homeworld. The Kroot are the most common of all alien auxiliaries in the Tau Empire, and dozens of Kroot enclaves can be found amongst the Sept. Although they are a far-flung and migratory race, all Kroot eventually feel the pangs that lead them to return to their birth world, the true home of all the Kroot kindred, the world of Pek. There are 8 star systems in the Tau Empire inhabited by the Kroot, including Pek. The Imperium knows only of the name of the planet Krath, where the Tau first encountered the Kroot. Roksh 15 is the site of a secret Tau listening post. The planet was part of the Roksh system that was once home to the Rokashi Welbeth Merchants Guild before the entire star system was consumed by the Tyranid High Fleet, Gorgon, in the 689th year of the 41st millennium. Vespid is a world of gas giants and homeworld of the Vespid race. This planet is also known for its rich crystal mines. Shagalud is the homeworld of the Nagi, a small species of highly intelligent worms known for their mind control abilities. When first encountered, the Nagi were hated creatures known as mind worms, but since the early violent conflicts, they have agreed to a peace accord and joined the Tau Empire. Many Nagi now serve as advisors to the ethereal caste. And those were 40 facts on the worlds of the Tau Empire. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. This was Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate signing out.